Hi everybody, welcome to Materia D&D, where we play D&D our way. Let me scale down our music just a hair, at least on my end. Um, yeah, we're back. You can't see me, you can maybe see my hand. That's my hand, if you're watching the camera. That's my cat, he's Jones, he's the honorary DM. Um, yeah, so we're picking up after a week off, just because life was hectic and busy for us. People traveling, people going to be traveling, and people being tired from work, so we took last week off. But yeah, the Menagerie story continues today, and we are going to be picking up with them victorious. The Menagerie managed to slay the Despoiler of Virtue, the Green Dragon, the Misty Poison Dragon, that they have come to sort of know the name as Aristratar. Uh, they were, however you want to look at it, slumbering within the Snoring Mountain, which looms and dominates the skyline near the town of Carver. And it turns out that their presence here has influenced events to a great extent and that presence necessarily isn't known, or the influence wasn't necessarily recognized. But now that some of the dealings with this entity have happened, and the nature of this creature has been kind of explored and dealt with firsthand, some of the craziness kind of makes sense around Carver in the last 500 some years. Um, However, going back to more immediate, the Menagerie is victorious. They managed to, with the help of the Krek Chicker kobolds, descendants of kobolds that followed Arishatar from far away as she came here to set up a new layer, to claim Agni's Eye, etc. Uh, Osut and his clan managed to assist the Menagerie in not only, well, slaying this green dragon, but also in fighting for their home, fighting for their past, and liberating themselves um, from this tie and this bond to this terrible entity. Now the Menagerie, with Aristratar's body having reverted back from its its peculiar misty form, uh, laying out as a corpse, interrogating the body thanks to the mask of the corpse mask, an item that the Menagerie collected from the, I think it was the Hill Hacks.
Yeah, it was at the Boulder Fields we
Yeah,
got it.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think it was at the
good
Boulder
call.
Field. Yeah, yeah. Maybe only the second time that they've really used this porcelain mask that has beautiful purple markings upon it, interrogated Aristotar's corpse, with that some semblance of life being brought back to this withered, um, almost emaciated, heavily aged in appearance body. Nothing like the dragon that they had just fought. Um, they found some. They asked some questions. They found some answers, sort of. I honestly don't recall all the questions, but I hope you guys do. But they did get some insight to what an Alohi is, and they heard about what is more precious than the entirety of her hoard inside of her lair. And we'll see, well, what the Menagerie decides to do. So, up top on the shelf that is lush and overgrown, full of, and now that the Menagerie now understands, unnatural vegetation that was created by the influence of Aristratar and possibly something else within her lair, uh, overlooking the sharp drop-off cliff into the dense forest, surrounded by 40 or so of the crackchecker kobolds, Osut exhausted, uh, Dragnar doing some basic burial rites to some of the fallen ones, or at least collecting their bodies. Some green scales gathered from the beast, a promise made to the bag of devouring. The Menagerie is, Well, it's up to the menagerie to see what they do next. A breeze blows by, carrying some more of the mist from Aristotar's body. As those of you who are immediately around it, you see that it's effervescing. It's not like a splashing water on an extremely hot skillet, or like steaming away, but this entire time there's been this ever so slight, as is she's kind of fading away, but it's by all means nothing rapid. So I turn it over to you guys.
Sorry, I'm getting my dice ready. I forgot this is a dice game, so.
I have to do a dice
Yeah.
check.
I guess after we're done interrogating, I would probably rejoin with these guys and just kind of join in the celebration and say, thanks to you guys and thanks to Otsu. Otsu is the pink one, right? I think.
Yes, that was just to mark him as significant.
That's all. I'm just.
Davis, the arms. You have a strong grip. I'm tired. You're
sorry.
welcome.
I mean, yeah. But yeah, you guys were great. You did a great job. Couldn't have done it without you. Yeah, we do need to be wary. There still could be dangerous things inside. But obviously the major problem is taken care of. Hey, I was thinking, those nasty kind of gray-skinned people that live in the mountain? You've seen them, right?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we know them.
I assume they're not your friends.
Oh, they're nobody's friends.
Right.
They're hardly friends amongst themselves.
Yeah. Do you think now that she, I'll point over to the corpse, is no longer, poisoning this place, that maybe that'll help them? It seems like weren't they made to be this way by something like what she was doing? I don't fully get it, but if she's all about greed, and I think they're poisoned by greed or something like that. Could that have had to do with her? And if she's gone, will that? You get what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I'm not.
Yeah, as you're talking to him, you see that he's still holding on to the staff that he had used, and kind of looking at the topic, kind of a little distracted. Looks back to you. He actually rolled pretty good. Davis, I don't know. But my gut tells me that no, those people are lost. They are.
Okay.
They have become what they are. Uh, we, as you know, hunt and traverse and keep watch on the mountain. That includes the inside. We know many, many, many paths that those of Carver are ignorant to and blissful from their existence. Many of them which lead deep inside of the caverns and the darkness. They're lost. They are people that have, yes, they succumb to the greed, but that over time has changed them. And if they were human, if they were elf, if they were orc, it does not matter. They are, they are rot from greed. They are greed rot.
Unfortunate. Thanks.
Yeah.
Sometimes those touched by ethereal beings, they are lost.
Well, as Sej, the food man, says, these are generations of those things breeding down there.
Okay, So then, yes, we need to remember that there are still dangerous things. And oh wait, yeah, actually, yeah, there's some pretty big stuff in there, isn't there? And I'll just kind of look around our guys, like, guys, I have a bit of a hazy memory of the last time we were in there, but there were some kind of nasty big guys in there, right?
Scratch my head.
I remember where we fought him on land. He had a pet. I think it was a massive mimic. I
I mean,
forgot what shape it took.
we can communicate with those and befriend them, and then don't have to worry about them.
Well,
Hmm?
if yeah, yeah, maybe. Okay.
But
Or
Alright.
maybe they're enslaved and now they're free and they just want to go hang out with all their other mimic friends.
Yeah,
who
maybe
are
they were free. Maybe they were with this thing all along and kind of still share its desires.
Yeah.
So
some might be loyal, yeah.
Or could they be like the mimic version of the Gray Man? Mimics turn that way.
yeah,
Oh,
Regardless, the message is you've lived around these mountains and you've obviously probably seen mimics like that. And mimics in our history with them, I guess, they're not too keen on sharing any space or sharing anything. So just be wary. I do actually
ahead.
out of game. I mean out of character. I mean, Davis, you mentioned I could upcast sending because I don't have
Yep.
a third slot
Yep,
left.
you can
How does
cast
that
out
work? Because
any high level slot you
I could
choose.
just. Oh, I didn't know that
This
worked
has a
that way.
benefit. So you can, you can, any leveled spell slot, so you can cast a level 1 spell with a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spell slot. It doesn't necessarily
Fantastic.
benefit from something.
Yeah.
So, hey, a little pitch and a plug for Materia. Something we're trying to do over time, and it's a massive game, and I really should just quit my job for like 2 years and work on Materia and then come back. Yeah, was something I really want to do, and I understand magic is already ridiculously powerful, and I realize that it doesn't necessarily need it, but at the same time, having played many characters and done things, we're trying to put more power into just a core base of classes. But anyways, going on the spell thing is, like you said, well, what if I upcast it and I get nothing? A lot of the spells that we're trying to do, if they don't benefit from upcasting, not all of them are going to get perks, but some of them, once you start getting into like the upper echelons, especially the 9th level spell, which in lore, even in materia, it's the highest that a mortal can cast due to limitations by the magical gods, yada yada, blah blah blah. At least if you cast something, even if it's the first level spell up at 9th level, we're going to try to give it some sort of boost. But for the most part, exactly. If you cast a spell that doesn't have if cast at a higher level, then you just use the resource to cast it, but it doesn't get any benefits. So.
Well, I'm just so new. I didn't even know that. Cool.
No, you're good.
Okay. Scene. Anyways.
Yeah.
Davis. I mean, I'm gonna turn to Otsug. You
He's like on your
all are.
Great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Look up instead of turn. Then.
Yeah.
Otsug, you all are denizens of the mountain. You've been sharing the mountains for so long at this point. You're familiar with almost everything, right? Almost.
We're familiar with, I guess, a lot of it. He kind of looks around at his people. Some have more expertise of the interior labyrinths and caverns. We inherited the mountain, right? We don't. But what's your point, Sej?
I think you're about to inherit a little more of it. It's not really up to me, though.
Okay.
I think that's more of Davis's call. They're more so his people on the inside.
I mean,
You realize there's only so many of us, and The mountain's pretty big.
I mean,
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just teasing.
I vote for them to own a mountain.
It's where I want like one like super shamanistic kobold to go step out and be like, one does not own the mountain. I'm
Mm,
not gonna,
I was
The
Oh,
Kobold,
you.
Kobold Yoda.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
thinking ownership is a weird concept, but
You got his attention. He's listening. He is.
I'm kind of just like nodding at Davis, hoping he like takes the reins because I don't really know what to say to them other
Yeah,
than
no.
like,
Well, so out of character. I think we sort of discussed this last time about them
Mm.
moving into the part of the mountain, like with the forge masters and such. Am I
Yeah.
misremembering, or was that something we actually
Yeah,
talked about?
I brought that up to you
Yeah. Okay.
in
that's
game.
kind of what I'm leading towards.
Oh, yeah. Well, so yeah, I mean, we'll definitely make sure that you're welcomed in by the Forge Masters, and from there you should be able to, do what you please. I would say, to me, you're the keepers of the mountain now. Like, you do with that what you will. Like, continue to live as you are. That's fine. Do try new things with your soon-to-be new neighbors. That's fine as well. But you.
At the least, we should regale the keepers of the mountain with the heroic deeds of our scaly friends here,
Absolutely.
right?
So yes, their future is in your hands, in my opinion.
I'm gonna walk up during this conversation since I did mention with Davis, and I'll be like, "Well, who better knows the devastation and the evils that this dragon has brought to the mountain? Who better knows the passages of this mountain? Who better to make sure that these trespasses don't happen again? I believe you would be a welcome addition to the heart, and that you and your kinsmen could really, really bring this mountain back to its former glory."
Hear, hear.
Speaking. No, you go ahead.
Why do you like to put so much responsibility on such little shoulders?
You can take
And he
it.
just kind of cracks a smile. Yeah, he
Yeah.
just kind of cracks a smile.
I'll look at him and like, "Well, I'm not much taller than you, and I carry this lot everywhere."
Oh boy, here we go again.
And then I give him a little grin when I do it.
And he just kind of set his little cobalt fist. Fist bump.
Yeah,
Little
Opposite
shoulders
shoulder.
move mountains.
I mean, it would be to actually go inside the heart. That is somewhere we had actually none of us that have survived had ever been. I mean, some of the
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that some of the first of our kind that broke free from Aristratar and made that original agreement passed on the stories of the inner chambers. And
Besides, you bled here. You fought this evil. Who would you rather take control, or not take control, but work with the Forge Masters? You or the people of Carver?
no, those people are pretty stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you don't do it, who's going to stop them from doing it?
I mean, it's a good. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check. You can do it at advantage based on just like the hype
Yeah.
and the energy of the situation.
So a -1
Nice.
Yes.
Woo.
Yes.
And a 9.
There's still hesitation, right? And you'll pick up on it again. Now, I mean, now you will pick up on it, Dregnor, as you're a little bit closer. His eyes drift to his staff again, the one that he had shattered. Then it gets back to you. Listen. I'll be the first to say numbers, quality and numbers defeat any large obstacle. We'll do what we can, but frankly, right now we don't know what to do with ourselves because something we didn't share. Forgive me, but maybe we wouldn't have had your trust. Is we always could feel it's. And he looks over, as he's up on Sedge's shoulder, kind of looking over past Davis at the ever-professing body. We were always bonded to that horrible thing. We could always sense its incessant want and its need. And we learned to cope and use it in our own ways, where we would gather and collect for ourselves as a community, but not for ourselves as us. But we would always feel it. Now, it's blank. It's gone.
Do I get the sense? I guess I'm kind of begging for an insight check. Like, does he think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
You can insight check it. Go for it.
Just for clarification on my side, out of game you're talking about they don't feel the greed anymore.
Yeah. Like, so I guess the best way that I can explain it, and I don't mind giving a little behind the DM's veil, is their ancestors followed the dragon from fear, but also from just like instinct, right? They had originated with the dragon, and so and they pick up elements and aspects of said dragon, so they were intrinsically tied to the Despoiler. Now that the Despoiler's gone, even though it's been centuries and how many clutches of kobolds have come out, that some of that tie and that bond has always stayed. It may have not nearly been as strong, especially since the moment that the original cast broke themselves quote unquote free from her. But there's always been just this little itch in the back of their head where they would just be like, well, we're green dragon kobolds. Let's do something green dragon. And they were able to use it to always gather and collect and quote unquote hoard, but it was for the crack checker community, not just themselves. So, but yeah, go ahead, Davis. What was your insight?
8.
8. You're tired. He's tired. It's read. He's speaking on a slight level that you don't necessarily understand. You're trying to pull some threads and try to pull from your past experiences, maybe like some working on the crew or in the band or something, but it just doesn't mesh in your head. Because you would be stoked to be able to do take center stage, and you're taking the mountain, taking center stage, right? And he seems hesitant, so it doesn't necessarily make sense.
Well, I think we need to clear out the lair, finish that up, and then wasn't there some mention about some damn tree?
Yeah, she seemed really to think that it's super important, and I think it was valuable. Is that Al? Was it?
He talked it up a lot. I think, what was it? The fruits it bears are more precious than any hoard. So she's egging it up.
Yeah.
It's got me curious.
Which, hey, Sedge, you remember the little lady, the mayor of Volpine? Can you?
Yes,
you've been talking to her, right? Somehow.
I was just thinking that actually. The second Dregnar said something. Good idea.
Could you?
I take out of my region pouch a little piece of
Don't be thinking about my gnome.
Your what?
Your gnome? She isn't a gnome. Are you talking about Navori?
I'm just messing around, dude.
She's a halfling, right? She's not a gnome,
Yeah,
right? She's
halfling.
Yeah.
I never.
Why I never. Nah, I'm gonna ahead and drop her token on
Yeah.
you
To
just
me,
for
it's the same difference. Dragon's
Whoa.
like, yeah, you're either a
Huge.
dwarf or you're not.
now.
There's no halfling in that halfling at all.
Yeah, it's a
It's a hugeling.
Oh,
yeah.
actually, I'll be. Oh, and Sedge. Wait, you never.
Hmm?
Gosh, when we were in town, you never met the tree ladies, right? The Grissa, Pan, and the Dryads. Did you? No. You were off with what's his name? The blacksmith.
Yes, I went to the store. I think. I don't think none of those names ring any bells.
She
I have
has some
no idea.
friends. When you talk to her specifically, yeah, she had some friends that we'd helped. I think they can we've walked through trees to move places, so they may be able to get here fast and do something. So
Oh,
I just maybe ask for the tree ladies. I don't know. Because I mean, they're tree ladies, for Christ's sakes. I mean, they of course they'll probably know about this tree, right, or something, or at least you know.
so out of character, like a tree popped up or something. I was like looking.
Oh, this is actually a dryad.
Oh.
They're just giving little icons
Yeah,
and showing you.
Yeah.
I see that, but like you're asking about a tree, but what's happening with the tree is like a tree.
Well, yeah.
popping
So
up
for
or
context,
something.
so we are talking. So we're discussing how we're gonna deal with the tree inside the lair, right? The one that Aristochar was talking about.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So yeah, I was
Okay,
like,
that
well,
makes sense.
they know people who are all about trees, and so maybe they would be good people to come help, and they might be able to get here fast. But yeah, Sej wouldn't know this because he wasn't around when we first met.
Right. Let me get ascending rolling. Yes, I'm on it.
Thanks.
And I take like my pouch out, Otsuk on my like shoulders still, trying to keep him balanced while like clapping both of my hands together, and I'm gonna start doing ascending. But I'm
Okay.
still like forming the words, so I'm not sending it just yet.
Sure.
But like I have it in my
You can discuss it amongst yourselves if you want to know what to say or how to say it.
I mean, I guess the key points would be Dragon's dead. They have a tree that they think is very valuable. We may need help with it. I don't know anything else. Oh, and then
the
Tree
tree
ladies.
is inside
sure,
the mountain.
sure.
Allegedly in the lair?
Yeah, it sounds like it. We never, although did we see a tree when we were in there? I never saw a tree when we were in there. Of course, I was, out for a
Doesn't
lot of
ring
it.
a bell. But it was a pretty big lair. There's a lot of dark corners that we didn't get a chance to explore.
Wasn't under the water, was it?
Better not be. Oh, Rock, did you see any magic tree underwater? Just by chance.
I saw a lot of gold, and then something tried to eat me.
Was it a tree?
No, I think it was the mimic, and then the dragon came, and I really didn't get to have any fun in the water.
Well, we didn't have it on the land either, so.
Ooh.
Okay, well, we'll have to find it, but but sooner we get the word out, the better, I think. So.
All right, are you ready?
As ever. The
Yeah.
cat tree.
I'm gonna take that little like region. It's like a little copper wire, and I'm just gonna clap both my hands together right in front of Otsuk, like right above my head,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna say, "Hey, Navori, it says, if you can scry quickly, we killed the Despoiler. A tree inside is suspicious. Might need druidic intuition, assistance. Also," and it cuts off.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, I think you had one
I
word
was-
left or something.
Yeah.
It's one word.
Did you put in the XOXO? That's how she knows it's really us.
I don't know how long it is anymore. I think maybe I
I
fit it
thought
right
Ele-
at the end.
I thought elephants were good at remembering things.
Damn.
Well,
What's an elephant?
it's called choice memory.
Hmm.
Who's Troy?
Choice. Ah, silly dwarf.
Silly dwarf.
I get to choose if it's Troy's memory or not? I don't get it.
No, choice.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
No.
can I see the staff real quick?
I mean, yeah. Otsuk is just holding it.
I get in a defensive stance because I think he's going to try to hit me.
I'm gonna bonk him right on the head, like not trying to do any damage.
All right. So you kind of like look at Osud. He kind of. It takes him a moment to let go, and you do bonk, just barely.
And I just hand it back.
I fall down. Oh, soccer player.
Actually, as you mentioned this stuff, I'm like, oh hey, plus, I don't know if this is a requirement to go into the forge, but like you broke your weapon, and that's how we got in. So, I think you're in.
Ooh, I bet they could forge him a new one too.
Maybe. That would be cool. Do you want a new weapon, Otsu? It's like it's an even better version of your last one. For me it was. I don't know. It was not easy to make though. Like we had to fight this other kind of dragony like thing.
Oh, scrying takes 10 minutes? Fuck. Oh, sorry.
Serge, my dear.
I go up to a random kobold and close his ears. Earmuffs, dude, earmuffs.
They're only like 6 years old. Come on.
I'm sorry. It was funny.
Saj, you'll get a ping in your head, but right before Osud will say, I mean, maybe a new staff will be nice. I liked my old one though. Yeah. Right around that moment, Saj, that you hear Nahori's like, what? No way. Dragon killers. Welcome to a very exclusive club. Is everyone okay? A tree? Getting ready to watch. That's all you get.
Oh, man. I wish it didn't take 10 minutes, because that dragon's going to be eaten by then.
I didn't know that either. I'm looking. It does take 10 minutes. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
If you upcast it, does it do anything? Nope.
Ooh.
Well, sometimes upcasting can shorten casting time.
Yeah. Sometimes items and things allow it to work quicker.
True. Actually, out of character, didn't she have like a fountain or something that she uses?
He does.
Okay, but we don't know. We don't know.
How you using it?
And we don't know.
She's got a little pond.
Yeah, we don't know if that changes anything with scrying or anything. But okay.
Yeah. For the sake of this, and says the moment you'll get. Say, oh, that is an ugly dragon. Oh, wrong voice. Sorry.
That's Otsu dissing himself.
Yeah. Yeah. Shoot, I lost my Navori voice. Say, oh, that's one ugly dragon. You guys really did it. I don't see a tree that stands out. What am I looking for? Do y'all need help?
I'm going to burn my last spell slot to have a response.
You can respond. Well, you can respond.
Oh, I can respond. That's right.
For free.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dirt. So it's within the caverns. And it's definitely not natural. However, it's Somebody mentioned you have dryads in your.
Tell her I said hi.
Dragnar says hi.
You have like a few more words. I think you have like 6 more, maybe. I kind of lost count. Sorry.
If you have, oh shoot, scratch those 3 words last.
Okay.
I guess that was you're talking to Devori just now?
To continue your call, you must pause it.
Keep an eye, XOXO.
So was that her? Was that her?
Yes, that was Navori. Yes,
She'll send one more. Go ahead.
she's watching. By the way, she can see as plain as day right now.
I randomly start waving, just like
Yeah, I'm just looking around, just like, huh?
I start doing the peacock thing, like huh? Yeah. Like
Preening?
yeah, I see. Yeah, yeah.
No one currently has invisibility. Rock never. Okay. Never. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So you guys, I was just trying to see if anyone would be able to pick up on it. Yeah. So as you guys are kind of, you'll hear the ping in your head one more time. Says, "I do have friends. It might take a little while for them to respond. Those little guys are so cute. If you go in the lair, be careful, just because and then it just kind of cuts off.
Make sure not to mess with the.
Yeah. And she ran out of words, right?
We hope, which is Simon.
He says, "Be careful." And she said she can contact some friends that you mentioned, right? Some dryads, I guess. I don't recall ever meeting any, but said it might take some time.
Yeah, they don't
I'm
live in town.
gonna smack Davis in the chest, or actually more like the stomach. See, she's worried about me.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I'm too awesome. Why would you know? Yeah.
No, that doesn't
I don't
sound
know.
right
Either way-
either. That's also wrong.
Either way, she's watching, so when we get in contact with the thing, we could probably figure it out then
So
too.
she's watching right now. Can she hear us too, or is she?
I haven't done the scrying ritual in some time, so maybe?
I'll let you know. So she's focusing. So you would know that she is focusing on an individual or a place. So for the ease of it, she's probably focusing on you. So she's basically
Take that, Dragnar.
relying on you as the source of the message, and is
Does
able
she
to
get
kind of
my
pick up.
senses?
No, it's basically like a bird's, like, think of it like a crystal ball, bird's eye view, just kind of seeing you and a little bit around you. Like, she can't see everything. She was able to see Otu because he's on your shoulder, right? And maybe like Davis and Dregnar are right next to her, you, so she can kind of see them. Though they're already starting to kind of fuzz out. Scrying is not like far sight from World of
It's
Warcraft. Where you
it's
like
not a
see an
Zoom
area.
meeting.
Yeah, it's not an enhance. It's not like a,
See.
it's a she can see the creature or the object that she is scrying on and limited around it. So she honestly may have not even seen the dead dragon. She just sees the aftermath of you guys fighting it, like how you look.
Yeah, that was the oh shit when she saw Davis and I just covered in blood.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so for scrying, you get visual. Now, things can augment it. And because you cast a spell, you understand like the focal point is probably you because you were the message. You're who she's communicating with. And so, like, to give you an example, like, let's say you said there's a tree, right? I'll just, again, trying to teach you your spells. So, like, you said there's a tree, it's special, it's inside the cavern. She doesn't know what you're talking about, so she can't like be like, all right, I'm gonna scry on this tree that you're telling me. She doesn't know it, so she can't just random tree scry. You know, it doesn't work like that.
But if you were to
Has to
go
be
like
something
right
rare.
next to it, she could see it.
Okay, so are we going in and finishing up this lair thing and then chopping down this tree or what?
Ooh. I mean,
Uh, I'm just saying, 100% of the time we've gone in there, shit's gone bad.
yep. Yep.
Yeah, but
And
this is the first time the dragon's not in there.
Also true.
while I agree, I don't have the energy to summon Loon to open dimension door to do anything. I feel a little useless right now after all that shit.
I can see that.
I can make a tiny hut, but that's about.
As I give you a little grin, I can see that.
It takes Al a second. He's like, I can just make a tiny hut. And what the fuck?
Karos would kind of also. I mean, the layer going anywhere, right?
I don't.
I mean, it's still also dangerous, right?
Oh, is it? Without her?
Uh,
her? I don't know. I don't know how these.
I'll go check.
No,
Uh,
no, don't.
At minimum, there's mimics, and I'm not doing that right now.
Yeah, the bad ones, not the ones that we kind of made friends with, like the big, scary ones.
Huge.
Um, actually, out of character, it's. I know we always have this discussion. What's the time of day now? I think it's like midday or like late afternoon or something like that.
I would say it's. Let's just say it's ticking over to late afternoon,
Okay.
just to make it easy on us.
Adam, I do have a question. I know that it could still be lingering, but does the forest seem, for lack of a better term, more natural now?
So as you're kind of looking around, this, amongst this thicket where you're in right now, and then you start to walk over towards like the ledge to look over, there is no noticeable change. Uh, Everything is as green and lush and as thick as it's been. It's
Well, I guess
I,
also, what about, the animals? Does it seem like there are more animals? Maybe the birds would come back. I know there was weird things that were going on because of the danger
yeah.
that they saw, that they sensed.
I mean, in the 30 some minutes since this thing has been dead, no noticeable changes.
Okay, so I'll look at everybody. Are we setting up camp, taking a break, then going inside in the morning?
Well, I'm beat. We
When you say that, I kind of look at you and go, "Yeah, I know how you feel."
Yes, I don't think I could cast a spell even if I wanted to anymore.
Okay, so I'll start setting up a little camp. I guess we're going to stay right here. There's no real, need to leave the ledge, right?
So, well, I'd propose a couple things. If we do set up camp, first, Rock had obligations, right, for, his friend. Or whatever. We should keep a track of what's going on around here because this whole greenery that's spilling out of the inside of the mountain should be the source from the despoiler itself, and I
That's
see
if
you've had.
that's if the tree isn't the source.
That's
Oh
true.
yeah.
Exactly. So, other than that, we do have some unfortunate casualties, and I point towards, like, the east where there's, like, the few,
Mhm.
like, shattered and broken dead corpses of.
So they were
They've been buried.
gathered and well,
Oh, we buried them
it,
already? I was about to
not
offer
buried.
that we do
They
that.
were collected. It would be a little bit way
They
too
were
fast. To bury
they
them.
were policed up and put in kind of like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
some a nice order with putting like a shirt or something over their face, just making it look as nice as possible.
Well, look up to Osut. Well, according to you, whatever we make their final resting comfortable tonight if we were to rest here. I'm okay with that too.
Oh, so do you guys do funeral pyre or bury? What do you guys do?
In this case, I think we leave them here at the entrance and they'll forever watch. Be the keepers of the lair, if it would be appropriate. You do not mind?
Sounds good with me. I'll grab a couple of the kobolds and start moving the bodies closer to the entrance. And I'll find some loose stones and stuff like that to kind of build like a makeshift barrel.
Some of
Mound.
Yeah,
them will
barrel
start.
mound.
Not some. A lot of them will start helping.
Yeah, I'll help as well.
All right. Very well. So as the sun continues to travel across the sky, getting ever so closer to its resting point, the two moons start to be visible. Pretty motionless up here, frankly. Not a whole lot going on. There's always a sense of the breeze and the wind that blows naturally through this area. The Despoiler's body remains. The celestial sand that had constructed the celestial has all but blown away at this point. The kobolds are still excited, though, now a little bit more somber as they kind of help the menagerie put their comrades, their clan members to rest. It's you guys have as you wish to do. If you guys are making camp, there's definitely not a lack of materials here to make a camp. It might actually, just based on the topography and the vegetation, it would be easier to make it off to the side, closer to some of the stones, rather than in the thick green, because it is pretty rough to walk through here. Karos is keeping a vigilant eye on the entryway, the portal to the Green Dragon's lair. The vines have not shifted. The roots have not moved. It has remained closed and silent from it. So, yeah. What are you guys, anything, or are we just going to, would you like to jump to the evening while y'all are camping, or time is in your hands? What would you like to do?
Good with jumping to camping time.
Same.
I mean, I'm still feeding a dragon to a bag. I think that's going to take a long time.
Yeah.
I want to know what end did you start with?
Also, do you start panicking when the starts turning into mist and there's not as many chunks left?
I mean, I kind of know the thing said it doesn't know what a dragon is, so I'm trying to stuff in as much as I can. It's not really anything salvageable.
I just picture Rock sitting in a little corner over here, putting little bits into the bag, crying the whole time, here's what
Pretty
you
much.
wanted.
I'll offer to help out where he can. I'm sure I'm just gonna make my knife blunt, but I'm trying to pierce it. But
It's definitely. I'm not gonna make y'all do any rolls, but as emaciated as this remnants of Aristotar is, it's still a huge dragon. It's still dragon hide. It's still dragon bone and everything. It will take a very long time. Over as the campfires are set and the kobolds and menagerie are kind of gathered, Karos will even walk over there and be, if it doesn't know what a dragon is, you might want to keep the head. If anything, pretty cool trophy.
Hmm.
And it's kind of more proof than just a pair of scales, right? That I guess we're dragon killers now.
Yeah, the head's pretty cool. I like that. I think that's okay. I mean, it's getting a lot still. Yeah. I won't cut the head up.
I like the idea of
Feel-
Karos. We happen to have like a lumber saw or something we can. You have any ideas on how to separate this thing?
I mean, we have a big sharp glaive, and he looks at his claws. I mean, maybe. No.
Why don't you
That's-
give the honor to the kobolds? I'm pretty sure they'd like a little payback.
Yeah. What do you say, Rock? I think that's might be our best bet.
Nice.
I mean, anything that can help. I've been using. I hold up the dagger that I'm using, which is my tiny little dagger. This isn't enough.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. I just got a notification that my battery was getting low, but it's plugged in. So I'm trying to figure out what happened.
Oh no.
Computer? Yeah, it says it's charging. Okay, we'll see. If I obliquely, or I just all of a sudden go, my computer's acting up. The kobolds will definitely assist. You see that even though, it's a dragon, it still has some semblance of bestial anatomy, not necessarily what you're expecting. And those of you that are partaking in kind of, I guess we'll say ceremoniously at this point, butchering Aristar's corpse, um, it's not necessarily what you would expect. There's a degree of resilience to the material that the creature is made of. Um, there's just a slight alien nature to it. Who all besides the kobolds will be assisting in, I guess, dismembering? And how many hours are you guys going to be spending doing this? Because it's going to be a while.
I go until everything but the head is in the bag. I promised my bag friend that I would feed it a dragon.
I'll
Okay.
go a couple hours into dark, and then I'd probably make a tiny hut for the group.
I will go a couple hours as well because I'm trying to fight off this level of exhaustion. I need rest.
Osut will ask, would it be permissible to mark each of the fallen with a claw? I hope your bag won't mind. I mean, I still don't understand how you're talking to a bag. That's beyond me. But
Don't try to figure it out. No, don't
It's-
just go. Okay, Rock.
It is not
Must
a
be
bag, it is the bag.
close to the bag.
Hey, Rock.
oh,
Also,
wise,
what do you mean
powerful
permissible?
bag.
You helped.
Hey, Rock. Does it have a name?
Bag.
I tried to ask it that once. I think I didn't get a very good reply.
Doesn't know what a name is.
Is that where it tried to explode your brain?
It doesn't seem to know a lot of things of us. It's not from here. Whatever it is.
Carver? We know that. It was in Greenhill.
No, this world, it's I don't know.
David, stop asking questions. My head is starting to hurt.
So, those of you that are working on the body, since Rock, you're going to be spending the most time on it, I'll give you, you get advantage, but it either survival or, well, survival, sleight of hand, or medicine. Oh, would medicine work? Let's see, survival, sleight of hand. Okay, survival just to break down the dragon's body in best reference to, skills using out in the nature to survive, killing animals. Yeah.
Is that with advantage?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So whoever's working rock, you get advantage, but
Yeah.
everyone else you can. It's either gonna be survival, it's gonna be sleight of hand. Then that sleight of hand is just like if you're just relying on your ability to just physically work through and nimbly cut through the body and segment it out into smaller bits, or um, it'll be
Medicine?
Can
I was gonna
I?
say probably medicine, just in the best way of breaking it down in a way that like you're not damaging maybe something that's worth. Yeah, what's up, Davis?
Oh, I was gonna make the opposite claim. Is that I wouldn't help a whole lot, but the part time I would be helping, I would just be going like all out going just like slashing
That's
the
fine.
shit out of it and making a case for athletics.
Sure.
Just like
Yeah,
full
yeah,
on.
I mean, if you wanted to like work at the where the skull meets the neck and try to sever that, then
Sure.
sure. You can most definitely give me your most bloody hack off.
Adam, can I use the Hedgecrafter's collection kit so that I have advantage on my tool check?
What tools are associated with the hedge crafters?
Alchemists, brewers, or cooking utensils?
In this case, no, not really. Unless if you can come up with something, but in my head, I don't
Well, I
see
was
it.
thinking cooking utensils because that would teach you how to be able to slice meat in a proper way to not damage something, or remove things that are non-edible like teeth, claws, and scales.
Okay, sure. Why not? I'll allow it. Okay, so Davis, 17 will still take you a while.
Yeah, it's not as good as I was hoping, but
Yeah.
still pretty okay.
Yeah. Medicine to carve out goodies. Okay. Ragnar and Rock. Let me know what you're rolling, and I guess
Is
both
it
of you can have advantage.
well? What would I use for that? What
Uh,
skill?
I think it would be dexterity proficiency with that because you're actually
Got it.
doing the small cuts and moving the body pieces around and everything.
So basically, like my acrobatic skill because it's
Sure. Yeah.
dex plus 4.
Yeah.
Thank God for advantage. That's a nat 20 on survival for 25.
Nice.
25. Okay.
I really don't want to anger the thing that gives.
I got a nat 1 and then I got a 14, so it gave me a 21.
21. Okay. We'll just start from most gruesome to the most meticulous. Davis.
I'm literally standing on the skull and just like
Yes.
It's
Yes.
like
You are.
get off this body, you stupid.
I was working on
Sure.
the neck where it meets the body, and he sees that, and he's like, "I'm gonna go work on another part."
Yeah,
Exactly.
you want to
Off
steer
the
clear of
wing.
this.
It's
I'm not
just, like,
doing precision
droplets flying
strikes here,
everywhere.
y'all. Anybody within about like 10 feet of me is taking their own lives into their hands.
What is this fine mist?
They're
Oh
like,
god!
oh shit!
Oh!
Yeah.
There's a bit of a
There's
cool
definite-
breeze when you stand near because it, whoosh whoosh whoosh.
There's definitely bone fragments and shards. Aplenty.
These safety goggles, damn.
Yeah.
It'll like turn to mist anyway. Don't worry about it.
Hey, bud. The owl, you're able to assist in the process of breaking it down. It's you can fill in the blank. I don't see you as having processed many animals, maybe some squirrels and some, capybara and some other little things that you've caught and had to, survive on the road with. But Yeah, it's similar, but it's different. You're kind of just trying to be useful and helpful with the process. And you're definitely not taking any large chunks off. You're more like getting smaller bits or large bits and then kind of breaking it down, kind of helping Rook get it to be more in line of what might be able to fit in the bag.
Hmm.
Definitely, you just don't have the knowledge yet to know what is valuable and useful. Uh, Once you guys kind of start getting into like the interior of the beast, there are organs that you just don't recognize at all. Um, there's structures in there that don't necessarily line up with anything that you've seen inside of another like dead animal, so it's weird. But you're able to help, and you're not slowing down the process. Uh, Dragnar is a 21.
Yeah, and I was going to kind of focus on items that I could use to do makeshift, like burial notifications or something, like maybe getting a scale and then maybe a tooth or whatever, and then using that to mark the graves of the fallen kobolds.
Well, Sud had mentioned the claws, so you're able to quite nimbly with your tool set and your bladed instruments remove from the second knuckle down, uh, and you have markers for the kobolds that fell. I guess, and then you're just able to help break down the entity, and uh, especially with a little bit of your survival background. Yeah, like when Al's kind of getting a little stumped and confused, you're kind of looking over it, and there are, we'll call them structures because some of them they're like of flesh and tissue, but they're also just, some of them are like hard as stone, and other ones are just sleek and shiny, and there's more to the interior of a dragon than you would have ever really imagined.
Okay, so yeah, I kind of imagine myself. Hey, Al, see the bones of the joint right there. Take your knife and kind of go in at an angle and cut this way, and that way you can kind of get a leverage and pop the joint apart, so you can pull that piece off.
Oh,
And
didn't
then
realize the angle.
then I look at Davis. That's not no.
Okay, okay. And I was gonna cover up another
I
spot where he
heard you
tried to
talking
separate two
about me.
bones.
What are you saying?
Hey, you're doing a fine job. You're doing exactly what we expect you to do.
Keep it up.
Remind me
Um,
never to piss him off because that glaive looks like it would hurt.
Thing is razor sharp. It's like 30 feet long too. It's some bullshit. Owl's not gonna have the leverage with a knife, and he's actually gonna pull out a crowbar just for that one. Separate that bit.
I do a smack my head type thing. Just
Not
you're doing
working,
great,
but
Al. You're doing great, Al.
I
uh,
get it against the ground a little bit, put my full body weight on it. Finally, it doesn't do anything.
um, and then what was your nat 2025 roll, Rock?
There was one survival, but I figured with everyone doing nothing, maybe I could use that to be the one who feeds the bag and not get eaten.
Nope, understood. And you're also going to be the one that, like you said, was the longest. Your friends begin to take a break and get ready for the night. They're just preparing food. The kobolds are scavenging the area.
Actually, I was going to find.
Sorry.
It's okay. I had something in mind,
Yeah, go for
Lee,
it.
and you
By all means.
just like pulled that out of my brain.
Oh no,
A,
I'm the
a
worst.
relatively no, you're fine. More than okay. Thank you for actually mentioning that because I might have actually forgotten. When I pull out the ladle, I'm gonna look for like a sprightly young kobold
Okay.
and ask his name if he like is interested in like waiting for me to make food.
Uh, I, yeah. The food
What's
man.
your name, little one?
Josa.
Chosa. Beautiful name. You like food?
Who doesn't? This is a trick question.
It is a trick question. Have you made food?
I dabble. I don't make it like
Really?
you though. I mean, I normally just we kill a thing, we skin thing, throw it on fire. Sometimes we don't even throw it on fire. Eat thing,
Well,
food.
do you want to try?
Mm. Okay.
Come with
What are we doing?
me. And we're gonna like I'm gonna like coach him through cooking with the ladle kind of as I've done every night.
So you take out you're looking around, you don't have a proper vessel, so you take out your little thimble and it grows to be the 5-gallon jug as it can be,
Yeah.
and then begin to set up. And Josa is one
Instant
amazed
cold.
by the thimble. Yeah, he's like, oh, that is very cool. That is really cool.
Hmm.
Damn. Yeah, he'll work with you, and you'll show him the ropes of using the ladle. Basically, the kobolds will have gathered. There's amongst all the green, there's surprisingly not a lot that you would deem as like edibles. There's not a lot of nut-bearing trees, any type of like fruit trees. Most of what they're gathering is they're going down under the ground, gathering some roots and maybe some edible grasses. And there's a limited amount of animals here. Excuse me. Mostly it's just different types of insects. For them, they're used to surviving off of it, so they'll be gathering and bringing you guys some insects for the stew. But you do as you wish with it. But yeah, collection of roots, some greens, and then insects. Of course, you have some of your traveling rations you utilize as well. So, is this right? He's like stirring it counterclockwise. Yeah, this is a lot of work. Ah!
It can be. You don't have to do it always alone, though. There's plenty of friends around here just staring at you. You look around and everybody's staring at the food.
He's like, yeah, we know how good it is. It's not going to be as good as when you make it.
Oh, I
I
doubt
think,
that.
we'll see.
Yeah.
This is a lot. He like looks over it, like, there's a lot.
I'm gonna
Um,
come up to him and I'm gonna say, "Here, try put some of this in there. I'm gonna give him some seasonings. Try put
Okay,
some of
cool.
that in there. That'll help.
oh,
Just keep that damn
Oh.
stick away from me. I suck at that stick."
Oh.
And how?
okay. Gotcha. Yeah, so a little additional of some sage and whatever else you may have provided to him. Yeah, I mean, as always, it always smells really good when the ladle gets to work. Kobolds are gathered. They're still, at this point, the ones that were helping with the dismemberment have basically gotten it out of their system. With the stabby, stabby, pokey, pokey, rip, rip, tear, tear. And Rock, if you wish, meal time is prepared and you're able to take a break. But
I am highly involved with chunks of a dragon. I'm not eating tonight. Gross. Yeah.
I don't know what it is, CJ, but I imagine you putting the bag at the end of the dragon's tail and just slowly watching the tail disappear as the bat moves its way up the tail.
doop, doop,
Munch,
It's
munch,
working.
munch.
It's working.
DJ
I mean,
Roomba.
yeah, any bits that I can get in bigger chunks, absolutely. Be like, yeah, bang, eat, munch, munch, munch.
So, as you guys are eating, and Rock, you're focusing on bringing the bag to the dragon, however you want to look at it. Something that all of you that were working on the body realize is like, and it was probably what made it a little bit off-putting or different, is that there always seemed to be a little bit of like mist coming off of the pieces that you had taken off, be it some scales, the finger, the neck. Like Davis, part of it, like when you chopped into the neck and you were hacking into it, there's a release of some of this gases. Didn't make you cough, didn't do anything like that. Rock, when you have like more pile of dragon flesh than you can put in, you see that the pile itself is just constantly it's not simmering, but like an effervescing just slightly. The bones on this are incredibly tough. There's a reason why Davis went hacky for a very long time. Not easy to break down, and some of the larger bones, you're not entirely sure you'll be able to get into the bag without possibly damaging the bag, because you understand the magic of the bag is that if you pierce it, you might damage it. But as everyone has eaten and celebrated, and is kind of getting ready to really hunker down, some of the kobolds will be setting up watches, because you are still, as far as you guys know, in danger. Karos has kept his gaze on the entrance to the lair pretty much the entire time. With that natural 2025, somewhere in your mind you start to kind of realize there are bits and pieces of a dragon that just don't line up and don't make sense to you. But you've never taken a dragon apart. And there's always that curiosity that is inside of you, Rock. And when like a gland of some sort gets brought over to you to stuff in the bag, and it is almost like calcified, where it's almost stone-like and hard. It seems to have some pores that lead into the interior of the structure, and you can't like line it up with any type of piece that you've seen from an animal. There's that curiosity, and you kind of start like messing with it just a little bit while you're kind of aimlessly shoving more flesh into the bag. And as you're kind of running your claw around it, it just kind of splits and it breaks. There's because of natural 20 and your just natural arcane nature, things have been changed in this dragon. Because now that you're looking at whatever this is, there's signs of, for lack of a better term, engineering. Tampering. There are almost like crystalline structures in this organ that look almost gem-like. There are vessels, like blood vessels, that would have led to this thing that don't really line up with any other like of the flesh tones and colors that you would have seen inside of this creature. Something was done to this dragon. Willingly or not, that you can't ascertain, but there is more than just a dragon here. And because of the natural 20, as you know, you put that aside, and you start kind of like keeping an eye out for some of the more odd stuff. There's a bit more to it. Like some of there are other bits and pieces that are presented to you that just they are alien. The best that you could explain it.
Okay. I'm not gonna mention that to anyone.
I have a specific question to you, and I'm gonna drop you down because I want to know what you are. Davis, I'll drop you down too.
Yeah, I'll disconnect my headset so I won't hear it.
And
Secrets.
for you, the prime part for the land that produces the magic that produces the breath weapon and everything. Would what would any of that get your interest? Or like
Sorry, you cut out on the first part, so I heard the part
Oh.
that makes the breath,
Yeah.
or
so there's like like key organs and key pieces of like the animal or the dragon. So there's like the heart, the structures that produce the breath weapon in the neck. Are there like would any of that gather your attention, or would you examine it further or anything?
so
rock?
for as rock would, if it looked magical or unique, yes, but like the heart, no, not unless someone was like, "Ooh, we should save the heart," because we had kind of discussed that, so that would be up to anything. But anything that came across as unique, I absolutely would be like, "Ooh, this is cool."
Okay. So the reason why I bring it out is like I the best way to explain like what you're picking up on and as you're kind of getting rid of the body of the dragon. Dragon anatomy is not something you know of. Not very many people are familiar with, but if you try to put it one-to-one with an animal, there's extra bits. Some of it is making sense to you. Like you can kind of understand what the structures that are brought from the neck are, and that's how it taps into the primal power that creates the breath weapon and everything. And when you go ahead and examine it and your curiosity kind of kicks in and you kind of open it up a little bit and kind of look through and see what you are going to come to realize, and I don't want to make it sound like super gross because I'm trying not to like gross out the party, but there are alien, we'll call them like worm-like structures that just are throughout a large portion of the important bits of this creature.
Are they related to either the worms we met at the farms or like when we were at the mage tower? Would I recognize?
Mage Tower. Oh, yeah. So they're different, but like there's definitely like the idea of like a parasitic infection, maybe.
Right.
Like that type. But is it necessarily a parasitic infection or is it something else? You're not sure. But there's definitely more to this. And as you're like that one structure that you kind of put open, that may have been altered and changed due to these things. The breath weapon may have been altered and changed due to these things. Like it's either this thing got, infected or this thing got changed or something did something to this. But the best way like for an atom to player reference is like, kind of like imagine either like there's, worms amongst the entity, or like for D&D terms, kind of like if you ever get like an illithid worm inside of you and it starts to mutate and change you and make you into a mind flayer. Not necessarily saying this thing was becoming a mind flayer, but that kind of example, like it affected and started changing, mutating this thing. and that is likely where a lot of its Windy Boy, Misty Boy features came from.
Okay, so I was gonna ask because you had mentioned too while we're doing that things kept misting, so I could assume that kind of is a part of that then.
Yeah, like
Okay.
the influence or the like I said, right now you are the best way I can say it is like you don't know, but you're seeing that this is weird and this is different. And there's that intuitive nature of you is like, did this thing get possessed? Did this thing get engineered on? Did this thing get mutated? Like there's something there, right?
Can I, when we go back, am I able to like, or maybe here I can try to, I don't know, best place, but like, I think a rock would want to not feed the alien bits to the bag, which might be alien, because they might be familiar with each other. To be more like discreetly keep some bits aside for myself to study.
You could try to do that. I will say that, some of it you probably already fed some of it too, right? Because it's like it might be just like throughout but like the collection points.
Oh,
Sure.
absolutely fair. But now that I notice, like, the more I go, the more I notice it, the more I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna just like.
Yeah, you can take note, take stock. You can choose to be secretive about it. You can, however you want to. But if you do secretive, maybe like sleight of hand or deception, or you might just wait for your friends to fall asleep to make it a lot easier for you to do these things, right?
No, he's gonna stick at it. So I'll kind of say in that like I'll ask for a sleight of hand roll and just roll and be like, I'm keeping some dragon bits for myself.
Yeah, that's fine. Just for studying or out of curiosity, yeah. But just like there's definitely like a sign of there was something more to this dragon than just a dragon.
Do I feel, maybe I'd have to roll for it, but do I feel any risk to us?
You don't know. I mean, I'll let you do an Arcana check based on what you see.
Okay.
But we'll go ahead and do that upstairs,
Yeah.
But that's it. I just wanted to let you know, like, there's more to a dragon than just a dragon.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, I was getting that. But Rock's pretty obsessed with not getting the alien creature angry. But also not making it super strong and making it, he doesn't know what he's dealing with. Little over his head.
All right, cool. All right,
Okay.
You good?
Yeah.
All right.
Hello.
How many of us died?
The dragon is back alive and ate anybody who cut a piece off of it.
Oh.
Well.
Yeah. You were
Yeah,
all
round two.
I'm glad I rolled a new character then.
you were just a misinduced high, and the dragon's just been slowly eating you all this entire time.
Sick.
A dream.
It's like Repo Man. We actually died, but he's messing with our brains, thinking that we're actually still there.
Holy shit.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen this in a long time.
He took away my dream stone, didn't he? Then he punched us all, and now we're in that dream state.
Bastard.
We're all gonna wake up and find out we didn't fight the dragon at all. Haha. And Dragnar's dead.
Here we go again.
What we don't realize is the dragon's actually sold us to Rock's bag.
You're cutting her apart and just stuffing each other in the bag. Yeah.
Oh, that would be horrible. I'm thinking over. I'm cutting off a fingernail. I'm cutting off David's hand.
Ugh.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Yeah. Yeah. So as everyone's kind of cutting it, I'm gonna focus on the bits that I find interesting.
Sure. So,
and just like hoard a little collection of fun dragon bits, I guess.
sounds good. Just
Do we? Sorry, Adam. Do we see any of this happening?
I mean, it is towards the later portion. If you wish, I would imagine that none of y'all would be actively watching Rock, like, doing this, right? So if Rock, you want to, like, roll me a sleight of hand check against passive perceptions.
Yep.
Okay.
Dragnar is a -2, Al is a -2.
Am I at a -2? Because I'm not rolling. Passive is
It's
static, isn't it?
It's
Yeah,
guys, it doesn't matter. I rolled a natural one.
Sure one. Okay. For a total of 1, right?
It's for a total of 1.
Okay. You guys will see that Rock is at least, he's still, as you guys are like getting watches set up, eating, kind of getting away from the body as it's still there. Still a lot of it, not a lot of it, but a portion of it is missing. Like you'll see that like Rock is kind of examining and maybe setting some things off to the side, but like, you don't know the purpose of it. Okay, next bit.
I will go to Al and say I don't care that he's taken the part. I really don't care, but kind of keep an eye on him because I don't know if the greed rot thing is gone. And I'll kind of point it out to him, and then I'll do the same thing to Davis and Sage.
Okay.
Not
I'll keep an eye out.
Legitimately, I don't care that he's taking parts. I just don't want to make sure that out of game it's associated with greed rot.
Got it.
Good call. I was just thinking he was finding what might be tastiest to the bag, but that's a good lead. I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, like, okay. I mean, I don't know, he keeps stuff. He does that. Maybe he needs it for a spell or something.
Yeah, I agree. I just want to just keep an eye out because you never. The first time we were fighting dragon, who knows?
Never not watching him in some respect, right? I just. Oh man. Okay.
You look a little dirty.
Yeah. It's
I'm gonna
luck,
pick
isn't
a piece of gore off of like his belt. This is like
yeah,
loot around.
I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm hoping Al's gonna help with this because although maybe it'll turn to mist and like I don't know. Just that thing's done. I'm good. I'm gonna eat and rest. Oh.
And totally out of game, but I imagine the glaive is like pristine, spotless for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, right now you don't see it at all because I chucked it to the ground and then it went. Whoosh.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, when he brings it back, it's hey, clean.
It cleans itself.
Free wash service? Good shit.
Okay,
So,
are we
I was
taking
like, I gotta
watches,
get myself a cleaning weapon.
Or are we gonna let the kobolds do it? Because I'm really tired.
Yeah, I'm tired.
I'm about ready to set up camp. I'm build a tiny hut over here in a few minutes.
We'll see what we'll say. Y'all rest. We will keep watch and be vigilant tonight. Yes. Rest.
Out of character, technically over here would be better. The whole thing can't really fit over here without having some of the crap in it. Because it's 10-foot radius, right? I think.
I thought it was. Oh, okay. I thought it was 3x3, but if it's radius,
4x4.
that makes more sense. The tiny hut. Yeah, 10 rad. You're right.
That's kind of the reason I went over here.
Something was brought up,
That
Adam.
works.
I think it's from the last fight. What's the aura around Rock?
That's a shell.
Oh, that was a shell.
Got it. Just
So he's got the materia feat for portals that if you're next to him, his shell provides some cover.
we were just trying to make sure, like, okay, what's going on?
No. Yep. That's fair. Let me turn it off actually, since you guys are not fighting. Save. Boop.
And for Karos.
You better get inside that circle before it goes away.
Whoa.
Oh no.
For I guess anybody who does want to watch, the door will be facing towards the
entry.
the cavern, so we can keep an eye on that.
Gotcha.
Now, Adam, correct me. It's his thing, but do you have to go in and out the door? Or can you just walk through the wall?
I think you can go in and out through the walls if you're given permission.
So this is like
It's an aesthetic.
Yeah.
Well, and it's assuming this is transparent, whereas the rest is opaque.
Yes. That's what I'm understanding, right?
Right. From the inside out.
No,
Yeah.
I like it. That's a cool idea.
No, I'm cool with it, but it's just like
functionally, you just walk through the walls. It's fine.
I'm imagining Al being Al, and like you're like
kind of draws it out.
Go through the door.
I'm going back to Yarcy's dome, and I'm like, I don't remember him having a door.
Yeah.
Because he had no flair.
You see, the igloo aesthetic helps with the feng shui, and then the greed is over on the east side, so it's not gonna not gonna attack
Uh,
us.
The
Oh.
greed reflects off of it, right?
Yeah,
'Cause of
yeah.
The curvature.
What's an
Mhm.
igloo and what's feng shui?
I'll go into it when I have some more rest.
Stupid,
Um,
stupid, Mizian sayings or something. Actually, no, you're.
Yeah.
Is that where you're from? I forget.
Museum. No.
Elf shrugs.
That's where Grant was from.
Well, yeah, but
Uh,
it's from down south somewhere near there. I thought.
Usagi.
Usagi, that's the one.
I'm from Usagi.
Mhm.
I would recognize that.
Yeah.
But I'd be like, Davis, is he talking hell talk again?
Probably.
Probably.
Um, I
Although that sounds usually more like. I see.
Well, feng shui. Ah.
That's true.
I jumped the gun a little bit, drawn a circle.
Hmm?
Can I retcon a minute of walking around before I create the tiny hut?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
God, we gotta start all over now.
Okay, back it up, guys. Pack up your shit. No.
Beep.
Gonna walk over to Sej and his kobold friend, see if there's any soup left.
Oh, of course. There's definitely food for everybody.
I
So
could just
much.
get you some.
No, I was gonna get a bowl, talk to Rock before I set up the tiny hut.
I just got
hey.
uncomfortable.
Don't worry, it's a retcon. This isn't really happening. Close your eyes and I'll be back in a minute.
Talking infernal talk again.
What's retcon?
That one's definitely infernal.
Retcon.
Should I write these down so I can learn these words?
We'll learn infernal in no time.
Feng Shui, Igloo, Retcon.
What'd you say about my mama?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Menagerie. Rock will progress through the evening, putting as much of the dragon into the bag of devouring as possible. Says has worked with Josa to prepare a meal and settled down for the evening. The kobolds have agreed to stand watch in shifts as you can rest. Inside of the tiny huts, it's pleasant pleasure, Al's making it as nice as he can for y'all. The smell of the soup fills the room of the hut, and it's pleasant as well. Night will come, rest will take you. Your first rest since killing a dragon. So, pretty easy for y'all, especially the exhausted bit, to fall asleep. Throughout the evening, you will hear above in the night sky the sounds of very slight thunder, just a little bit of rumbling, as some weather is probably rolling in or something. But makes your night's rest a lot easier and a lot more pleasant. And with that, you will be able to take a long rest as morning will come. And when we come back from a little break, we'll roll items. We'll see what the menagerie is doing the next day. I do operate on the assumption that Rock, you did eventually go to the hut and go to sleep.
I
Or
mean, is the dragon done? It 100% depends on if I'm finished with the dragon bits.
I'll want to give you a pat on the shoulder before that and go, don't overdo it, and then leave the bowl of soup.
I honestly don't. I'm trying to think how fast it is to process a cow without like modern technology.
But also with magic.
Yes. You know what? Just for the sake of it, I will say that sure, everything but the head, because you guys decided to save the head, and whatever little bits you decided to collect.
That I have stashed into a bag of my own.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then yes, I go to sleep.
Okay. So, the only thing I will say, Rock, is when you are sleeping, and you, at one point, you don't know when you're dreaming or sleeping and all that. At one point, there's a portion of your dream where the best way that your mind can interpret it is you hear a rumbling belly go silent, and you get a good night's sleep. That's it.
Okay. I'm making friends.
And then we will take a break. So it's 30, let's say it's 35 past, so let's be back 50, 55 at the latest. Does that sound good for everybody?
Sure.
Yep.
Ooh,
All
cool.
right. All right. See you guys in 15, 20 minutes.